there's people in the streets and they're like selling drugs and they're just standing on the corner at the liquor store and because why? Because they ain't got shit to do. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem. The problem is people are bored and they're lonelier than they've ever been in the history of time. What's up, everybody? Today is Tuesday, June 11th, I believe. I wanted to make a vlog. I'm a little early in the week. Today's Tuesday. Like I said, I usually make these on Wednesday or Thursday, but I didn't make one last week, so I got some filling you in to do, catching up, if you will. So just going to jump into it. I went to a transformative learning experience this weekend called the Landmark Forum. I really wasn't looking forward to it, to be honest, and didn't really know exactly what to expect. I had done something like this previously a couple of years ago, and it's all this like deep digging, kind of trying to figure out why you are the way you are, real reflective personal development stuff, I guess. And I knew it was going to be work and long days. They were 13-hour days. I was there 3 days in a row, and man, it was super impactful. I highly recommend anyone looking into it, or if you've heard of it, if they have it in your town, definitely check it out and go to it. It's really just a paradigm shift. I was basically, just to kind of give you a brief, probably not the greatest explanation of what it does, is things happen in your life, right? And as humans, we try to attach meaning to those things. And sometimes the things that happen don't really mean the things that we assign to them. And then what happens is we create a belief system around those things and get caught up in that belief system, that story, and then we start creating behaviors in our lives to reinforce that belief system, behaviors that we don't want. So instead of getting things that we really want to happen, we just get caught up in these things and we become right, but then we don't get the things that we want. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is, basically what it is. And I was just caught up in some stuff. I had a rough go the last, 7 years of beating City Fam and everything that I'm trying to accomplish, and I got caught up in some things that I didn't realize I was caught in, and it really helped me get out of it. I get out of those stories and create these new possibilities in my life with in my relationships and all kinds of stuff. So it was really good. I'm excited. I'm going back tonight. I graduate. It's in Alexandria. I'm taking a bunch of friends. I'm taking my mom with me. Highly recommend it. And you'll probably hear me talk more about it because it really has impacted me so much. And I don't say that lightly. I'm actually kind of a tough critic when it comes to these things. That I really just want everybody I know to go through it, because it really just kind of changes your perspective a little bit and really opens the world up to you to see things that you didn't see before. So anyway, it's called the Landmark Forum. Check it out. Really exciting week. We had the City Fam app launch yesterday on the Android store, or at least that was the first day that we looked at it and tested it out, put up an event on it. And first off, I just want to thank our contributing members for making that possible, that we were able to get that done. So if you have given, as a monthly donation or a one-time donation, or if you served at a volunteer event, maybe you were pouring beers for us at the Ravens games or at a festival or whatever, all those things led up to us being able to have this app. And I really want to explain to you why this app is so important. So the app is going to now give our members the ability to create their own social and service events for other members to see. If they'd like to make it public, they'll be able to put it on there and make it public, and it's just going to give people more opportunities to connect in a healthy community. So it's going to diversify our events. No longer will there just be like 1 or 2 City Fam events a month. There'll be all kinds of events. Some people want to go to museums, and some people want to go, see a kids movie with their child or whatever. So there's going to be all these opportunities for people to connect with healthy community. And why it's really different than other, like Meetup or all these others, because City Fam is about socializing with intention. It's about, hey, we're here to have fun, but we're also here to pull people up. So when I see, the violence in Baltimore right now, and I watch the news and I see they have this march, and the mayor's trying to figure out what to do, and he suggested that, do boxing for kids. And look, that's not a bad idea. Boxing would be great, and it'll give them something to do. But I think we all recognize the reason that a lot of the problems, specifically the violence, same with the opioid epidemic, is because people are bored and they're lonely. So what the CityFam app does is instead of the city having to put on a couple boxing matches, which is good, it's a good start, this puts the power back into everyone's hands. Instead of it just being a few boxing matches that only a few people, a very small segment of the population is going to be interested in, we're going to create all kinds of events, museums and, bingo nights and paintball and whatever anyone is interested in doing, they can put on there. But it's got to be the CityFam mindset or principles of pulling people up. I drove a friend home through Sandtown the other night, and that's where the Freddie Gray stuff happened. Not a good part of town. I drive through there regularly to drop someone off, and there's people in the streets, and they're like selling drugs, and they're just standing on the corner at the liquor store, and because why? Because they ain't got shit to do. You know what I mean? That's the problem. The problem is people are bored and they're lonelier than they've ever been in the history of time. You know what I mean? Because we're so separated from each other. So we have to restore community, and the way to do that is through events. It's through social events, fun without regret, not bars, not all social events, but fun without regrets is our motto, social events, and service events. Got to give people opportunities to give back and be a better version of themselves, and give them a support system as they start to make the changes. And that's really what CityFam does. So the app is going to allow us to do that for people. And I believe, and I'm predicting it, that it's going to be a game changer for Baltimore, but even beyond that. So look, if you're watching this and you're like, I'm starting to get it, maybe you don't get it at all. If you have a connection to the mayor or Governor Hogan, because I know he's passionate about the opioid epidemic, connect me, because I want to meet with them and I want to explain this. I've already met with people at the governor's office a while back, and I met with Jack Young a couple years ago, and I take responsibility that maybe they liked it. They were like, wow, this is great. The people at the governor's office were blown away. But at the end of the day, they didn't give us anything. They didn't give us any money. So we weren't able to grow. We weren't able to move forward as fast as we would like to, because we haven't had the money to even really kind of pay people to do the work. So I would like to be connected with them again. So if you know somebody, if you're watching this and you know somebody in the governor's office or the mayor's office and you can connect me, I am now working with a small team here at CityFam so that we can figure out what didn't we do? What didn't we give them that they needed in order to give us funding? Because at the end of the day, look, they have a problem. They do. They have a problem that they don't know how to fix. We have the solution, we believe. So what we want to do is we want to say, okay, put it in writing. Here's the problem that Baltimore or Maryland is facing. Here's the solution that CityFam provides. Here's how much money we need. Here's what we will do with that money. Here's the impact it will have on Baltimore or Maryland. So we're going to put that into writing so that this way, when I meet with them, I can give them something really firm to grab onto. So again, maybe because they were excited, they liked it when they saw it, but they didn't give us anything. So I take responsibility because I didn't do something that they needed in order to get funding. So we're going to figure that out. And when we do, we're off to the races. So, either way, we're going to get there. It's just going to take a lot longer. And I told that to the governor's office a couple years. I'm like, even a couple years ago, even if you don't give us money, we're going to get there. It's just going to take us longer because we're going to have to, do everything that we're doing now, like volunteer and, it's just harder when you don't have money. So anyway, that is something I'm really passionate about and excited about. Something else I'm wanting to do, or it's an idea that I have, is I'm wanting to send the book out to churches, to schools, and to libraries. So the reason that I want to do that, there's a few reasons. So anyone that's came from other cities, Houston, Phoenix, Dallas, it was always from content. They either found the book, or they found a YouTube video, or they found something I put out on Instagram, and then they're like, whoa, this is awesome, I like this, and then they want to start it in their city. So we have to get the content out to more people, and that includes the book. The book is great because it's waking people up to the fact that this whole, over sexualized culture that we live in, that something's wrong. Something's broken. It doesn't work. It didn't work for me. I mean, I'm the poster boy for it not working, and I write about it in all the ways that it didn't work, and people start to understand it. So we want to, create this movement of people that are living selflessly and helping people become the best version of themselves. And a lot of times it's starting in these cities now with people that are embracing this waiting lifestyle. Because they're the people actually that need the community the most. Because when you're waiting, you really need community. Like you don't have the luxury of hopping from person to person anymore. So all of a sudden you're like, I need to get some real friends. And in order to have real friends, you got to be a real friend. So those are the people that are really starting these little seeds of City Fam, these chapters, which Houston is actually off and running. They're pretty strong right now. But I want to send out the book to schools, churches, and libraries, and I just want to give it to them, because I feel like if they have it in their hands, something good will happen. So I say that to say we don't have the money to do it, but I am able to purchase copies of the book from Amazon for $2.50. So if you're watching this, if you're like, hey, I believe in this waiting thing, or I believe in, this whole City Fam thing, or what you're doing, and you want to sponsor some books to be sent out at $2.50 per book, you can sponsor them. We'll send one out to every, for example, if someone was to say, I'll sponsor 40 books, that would be $2.50 per book, plus postage actually, so it's probably going to be more about like $5 a book total. But yeah, you can sponsor books at about $5 a book, and we'll send it out, and that can be your contribution to this whole thing. So DM me if you want more information about that, or you can email me at rob@cityfam. So that was just an idea that I had recently that I really think would kind of propel everything forward. So I got a Patreon account. I'm actually going to post the link here. It's a way that people can support me. I don't get paid from City Fam. I have a couple marketing clients, a couple hotels in Florida that I do social media for still. And I have a few people that support me. I think I get $46 a month right now from it, which is awesome, and I'm very grateful for that. But I actually put in as one of the options that I would do one-on-one meetings with people, like Skype meetings, as a level of support. So if somebody, maybe they want relationship advice, or maybe they want to get sober and they're trying to figure it out, what it looks like to get sober and stay sober, which I've been able to do for the most part, outside of the 5 weeks. I did backslide here recently, but I've gotten and stayed sober for over 7 years now. So I've learned how to do that. And so if anybody wants maybe some one-on-one coaching, I'm going to put a link up how you can support me on Patreon, or maybe you just want to support what I'm doing, and that's okay too. So I wanted to mention that. Very excited. Next week we go to something called Innovation Works. Basically, it's for social innovators in Baltimore. There were 50 some candidates, and they chose 20 some, and we were one of them. So we get paired with a mentor, somebody that's very successful in business that can kind of coach us and help us get a marketing plan and a sustainable financial model and a strategic plan. So we're really pumped about that because we feel like we have the answer to a very big problem. And we just need some smart people to help us get there. So we're actually meeting with our mentor today at 4:30, which I'm excited about. Last piece of news that I want to mention. So I am booking I'm going to be booking a series of concerts. Actually, I'm really excited because I've been out of the promotion world for 7.5 years, and I miss it. I just enjoy it. Something I like doing that I was pretty good at, and so I'm going to be booking concerts. I'm booking old school artists. I'm not going to name the venue yet. It's a good venue. I'm going to be booking old school artists for concerts starting this fall, and basically I put out a post asking for people's suggestions, and some of the suggestions I got was like Keith Sweat, which I think he's great. I want to definitely book him. Ja Rule, Drew Hill, and Jodeci are some of them. But my top of my list is actually Color Me Bad. So if you think that's a good choice, if you like Color Me Bad, like this post so that I know that that's a good one, and I will book color me bad. If not this fall, sometime early next year. So I'm pretty excited about it. But that's it. I'll put links to everything I talked about in this post, and it's good, man. I got to say, I just feel like I'm coming out of a long wilderness period, and I'm really excited for the future, for City Fam, for myself, and I think it's just, I feel like I'm starting to step into my promised land. I'm not there yet, and I believe that it will get better and better as I continue to walk this thing out. So if you're out there, if you're in the grind, if you're walking that narrow path, stick with it. It works. It's not easy. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. It takes a hell of a lot longer than you probably thought it was going to take, but there's something on the other end of it. Just don't quit. Don't give up. All right, see you.